Hi everyone, I am so happy to be with the leadership team of the West and South Valley Realtors of the West and Southeast Realtors of the Valley. I am Siobhan DeJoyner. Most people call me Chevy. I work for the University of Arizona's Cooperative Extension in Pinal County. I am the Senior Program Coordinator of the Arizona Project Web Program.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Craig McGinnis. I'm a water rights analyst with Salt River Project.
Good morning, my name is Eric Norton. It's a pleasure to be here. I work for Arizona Grain in Casa Grande, Pinal County.
Good morning. My name is Michael Sarand. I work at the University of Arizona Water Resources Research Center. This morning, I'd like to start by providing a quick overview of the issue that our group has identified and our proposed solution. Most fundamentally, the issue is scarce water resources in Pinal County, exacerbated by historic drought, overdrawn aquifers, and we have a community that's trying to balance the needs of its rich historical agricultural culture and the fastest growing county in terms of population in the state. Our group will develop a concise water fact sheet that packages water information specifically tailored to Pinal County for you, the leadership team of Pinal County chapter of We Serve. And it is our hope that you'll use this fact sheet to share with your member realtors and your homeowner clients. To give you a better idea of the issue and the context for our project, I'm going to turn it now to Craig and the rest of my team.
Now I'll replace the old, tired, misattributed Mark Twain quote of what whiskey and water are for with the one that the reports of my demise are greatly exaggerated. But what is not greatly exaggerated is the dire water situation we are seeing in the Colorado River Basin, which might make that whiskey seem a little more enticing. Now, you've read the headlines, you've seen the papers. The drought persisting in the Colorado River Basin since 2000 is the driest 22-year period in the last 1,200 years on record. In last year, the Tier 1 shortage declaration by the federal government was the first of its kind in the basin. Now, for this year's Arizona's obligation to that plan under the 2019 DCP, it will be borne almost entirely on the Central Arizona Project, largely on agriculture in Pinal County. As we can see on the graph down here, the elevations at Lake Mead are the lowest that we've seen since it filled up behind the Hoover Dam in the mid-1930s. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it does not look to be getting better anytime soon. The takeaway from this graph here is that over the next 2 years, there's a very high chance it'll get lower. The lower the lake level goes, the less water will be available for Arizona, the less water will be flowing in the central area of the state into Pinal County. As a general matter, when the surface water supply is not available to meet the entire water demand, water users will turn to groundwater. When it comes to Pinal County, groundwater and surface water on the Colorado River have been tied at the hip since the CAP was constructed. Education is going to be our first step. The 1980 Groundwater Management Act was necessary to receive federal authorizations to construct the CAP. The intent of this act was to create certainty around the availability of groundwater into the future. However, under the Assured and Adequate Water Supply Program for the state, it was determined last summer that the amount of groundwater in Pinal County was not going to be sufficient to support future development. Now here lies the rub when it comes to the Pinal AMA. We see here how the Colorado River water supplies the water portfolio for the Pinal AMA, and how loss of that supply would only further add stress to the system. Unlike the safe yield standards that we see in the other AMAs in the state, the Pinal AMA management goal is slightly different. It loosely translates allowing development of domestic non-irrigation uses in the presently preserving the agricultural economies we have for as long as we can, while recognizing the need to preserve water for future generations. Particularly in an area in which we see such a robust agricultural economy and significant booming domestic population growth, as my colleagues will soon highlight, where is there an opportunity for us to move the needle on developing responsibly? By supporting efficient development through education, what impact can we make so that the agricultural heritage of Pinal County can meet the domestic growth it anticipates into the future? I believe there's a cost-effective way here to support that balancing act, and I'll turn it over to Eric to dive into the first component, which is agricultural economy in Pinal County. Thank you.
Craig. Craig's done an excellent job of kind of outlining the bigger picture of the drought in the region and also its effects on central Arizona and Pinal County. And I just want to kind of paint the picture of agriculture in Pinal County. And these are some of the most recent statistics. Now, Mike mentioned that Pinal County has a rich heritage in agriculture, which it does. Agriculture contributes about $1.1 billion in economic impact to Pinal County. There's about 260,000 irrigated acres in production agriculture in Pinal County. Over 700 individual farming operations. Most of those are multi-generational family farming operations. So this is obviously a semi-arid region, so these are high input, high output operations. And when I say that, I mean that they're water intensive farming operations. And so we're in a drought situation, and that creates a problem when we're in drought situation. So what are the challenges that we face in agriculture in Pinal County? Obviously, water, I think, is the number one issue that's facing agriculture in Pinal County right now, and the growers, the producers are aware of this. Obviously, with the institution of the Tier 1 that was brought on, agriculture had to bear the brunt of that Tier 1 and they took a 66% cut in their CAP allotment. So we have to think about what ag is going to do to alter their production. They're doing things like switching the types of crops that they grow, types of markets that they operate in. So I'm going to turn it over to Chevy, and she's going to talk about what the urban environment can do to do as well.
Thank you, Eric. So we are working against protecting ag, but there's something we can do in the city to help us. Luckily, for our fact sheet, we're already going to incorporate existing programs and research. So, no need to reinvent the wheel. We already have these programs. I work for Arizona Project WET, Water Education for Teachers. We make it our goal to make sure we are teaching teachers and students about water conservation, groundwater, and we also, in specifically Pinal County, make sure that we have programming for our community members. We also have in the cooperative extension the Master Gardeners program, which is a volunteer-led program that residents can contact to talk about desert plants and plant problems. They also have plant sales as well. So the next program is Smartscapes. This is a development that we're doing in Pinal County with our horticultural agent, Ann Lasan. We want to have a program specifically designed for landscapers to put water conservation in the forefront of their mind when they do both city designs and homeowner designs. So plants don't waste water, people do. So we can change our behaviors. So water is Arizona's liquid gold, our precious, precious resources. So what behaviors can we do? We can take shorter showers, we can do full loads of laundry, we can even get those beautiful desert plants. This is the Boyce Thompson Arboretum. So this is up in Superior in Pinal County. Beautiful. I'm obsessed with Superior. We can also do technology. So behaviors, we have to be conscious of what we're doing, but with technology, it does it automatically. So for technologies, you have dual flush toilets, so it gives you the option to flush for 1 and 2. There's high efficiency shower heads, washing machines, dishwashers. You can install drip irrigation. There's also toilet flappers, so you can stop having your toilet constantly run and waste all that water. And the most cost-effective and accessible to all income levels are aerators. So they replace the water flow with air, so you get the same quality of flow without using all that water. And then, of course, policy. It's not about what you can do, but it's what your water provider can do for you. So in Arizona Project, what we do partner with water providers, EPCOR, Global Water, Arizona Water Company. They're very committed to getting their community into saving more water and kind of breaking that crisis with the shortage of the Colorado River and the overpumping of groundwater, which my colleagues will talk about more later. So they can give future Pinal County homeowners incentives to make sure they're actually saving water, having more money in their bank, and protecting our future and our water. Michael?
Thanks, Debbie. So our group has identified a need to bridge the gap between all of these resources, the technical expertise, the existing culture of efficiency in agriculture, and existing programs generating conservation behavior changes with the new homeowners who are moving to Pinal County. In my job at the University of Arizona, I get questions from the public all the time asking, I just bought a house in the county, is there water for me to leave the house to my grandkids? So we need to answer these questions by providing information tailored to the specific characteristics of the county. And we're going to do this through generating a fact sheet that will be shared with realtors and their clients. So I want to go through a couple examples of the type of information that we pull together from the existing programs and expertise and how we package it on a fact sheet. We have examples of what does the supply and demand look like in Pinal County, population charts just showing that upward trend of rapidly growing population. What are the consequences of aquifer overdraw? This is a fissure caused by land subsidence. When you pump water out of the ground faster than it's replenished, the ground sinks, causing fissures. This graph is just a demonstration to show that there is historic overdraft, and as Craig mentioned, if less water is being brought to the county, less surface water, the reliance turns back to groundwater. So these groundwater overdraft issues will continue into the future. And all of this, of course, is umbrellaed by drought. So our fact sheet will absolutely incorporate up-to-date drought information, temperature increases to set the stage for growing water scarcity.
So make a difference. Developing in a drought fact sheet will be specifically for the Pinal County chapter of We Serve. It's using, of course, existing research, programs, and local expertise to give Pinal County homeowners what they need. So the ask. We would like the Pinal County chapter of We Serve to agree to $2,000 in publication costs and agree to distribute to their realtors to be able to connect and let all the knowledge that we've collected be known to future and current Pinal County homeowners. Thank you.